Dear Living Father, just thank you for leading us and guiding us. Thank you for giving us this beautiful day. Thank you for the rain you've given us across the state as we dearly need you. Just lead us as we go through this meeting to make wise decisions and good decisions that will ultimately affect our community and our students. In your name I pray, amen.
Okay, and then the pledge.
They're gonna do the pledge for us, so.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
honor the
Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you for making us do that.
Absolutely. This is Kaden Snook. She is a junior. And they're all dressed up in one act. We haven't figured that out. They just ran over here from one act play. And she did a class 2 solo called Theme and Elaborations, and I'm even going to try to pronounce his last name. They did that, and I told each of them to play just a small excerpt from each of their solos. So, Kate's all there.
Okay.
Next up, Laura. Laura played a class 1 solo. The difference between class 2 and class 1 is class 2 is like a high level high school, class 1 is kind of college level solo. She had the option of memorization or just read it off the page. She chose to read it off the page, but it's still a beast of a solo and super proud. She's a junior as well.
Sorry, my hands are all sweaty. Sorry.
Okay. Next will be a senior, Anna Raspberry. Anna chose to play class 2 solo. And she is our only senior. No, Madison was a senior as well. Yes. Give us just a minute to shuffle in and remember. I'll introduce Zaylin while he's pushing it with Mystic Means. Zaylin is now a three-time All-Stater. He chose to play Class 1 solo again, and he had his memorized. And so a memorization All-State making a first division, and you get to go to the All-State Solo Ensemble Festival. He's going to play a solo called Frogs for us. So if he does it correctly, we'll see little frogs jumping all over the lily pads, and I'm going to back up to see my perfect. All right. Leyland, not only did he make All-State, we had a competition that we viral entered him in, and it's in Abilene with the Abilene Philharmonic Youth Orchestra, and he has made it to the final round of auditions. So on the 6th, we're going to go down and do a live performance, live tryout. It is a scholarship audition type thing, and then if he does real well, do you get to play with him? Is this correct?
The top 3 may be asked to play with them.
So the chance to play with the Abilene Philharmonic.
Very impressive, very impressive.
Everyone
All
wants
of
to
them.
be
All of them.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. Yeah, that's cool. It's really cool. Good job.
Here, we give these things.
No, I'm gonna steal it. Thank you all.
Great job, guys.
Thank you so much.
Very cool. All right, what Karen, what did you do? We're on.
Motion for adjournment.
Adjournment, yeah.
He said that it's not, it's on the second page.
Okay. I'm glad I got here in time. I only missed one performance. I'm glad I got here in time for that. So, were we gonna do more on campus spotlight for BAND-UIL, or did
No,
you already
that's-
cover all that?
that's it.
Okay. No citizen participation this evening? Okay, let's move to the consent agenda. 6.1, approval of the previous, meeting minutes. I'm hoping everybody has already read through those, and if you have any, changes or corrections. I didn't see anything on there, I thought it all looked good as is. Okay, comparison of revenue to budget.
As you can see, we're in really, really good shape. Things are going well. We're staying within budget, and our revenue continues to be a little bit more than our expenditures, which percentage-wise. So we're doing very, very well.
Okay, and then the tax collections report.
I corrected yours, and it's corrected in the one that's on the screen. I don't know if I corrected, yes, I did. But anyway, we have collected $314,330.24, since our last meeting. I got another sheet in, and so I went ahead and put it in this packet. So, taxes are coming in. We will, as usual, I'm sure we'll be right at 100%. Some years we're a little over 100% because of delinquent tax collection. So we'll be very, very close to that this year. That's it.
Does anyone have any questions about either of those, the comparison of revenue to budget or tax collection report? And we will be looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, Heath and Terrell, all those in favor? Okay. All right, let's move to the discussion of 7.1, the campus reports and program reviews.
I'm just gonna have it always come first.
Yes.
We've been visiting with Dr. Marable about solar eclipse, so it's one of the things that we've been working on. We're very concerned about attendance on that day. I feel like that some will be staying home. It's one of those things, what do you do? In hindsight, I wish it was a teacher work day, but it was not a teacher work day. But anyway, so we've been trying to come up with a plan of what to do to try and make things a little bit more, something that it's going on campus to kind of pull students there. We're planning, we talked about a bunch of different things, but then in the end, we got very concerned with children being outside for long periods of time, staring up at the sun. And so I think we ended up deciding just to stay on our campus. We're gonna try and make it fun, do different activities. Everyone has, eyewear to put on. And we're gonna have popcorn, and I'm gonna kind of leave it to teachers to come up with different activities to do. But anyway,
So
so they'll go outside and do the viewing and then.
I think maybe kind of rotate, and like go out for a few minutes, then come back in. You know, they can even, you know, chart, like do a little drawing of what does the sun look like now, and then go back out in 5 more minutes, what does it look like now? Kind of just chart it and put the different times. But there's all different types of things you can do, all different types of viewers that you can create and, you know, make and go out and look at the sun in a different way rather than just through the little glasses. So we'll come up with different things, and I'll let the teachers come up with those, whatever is age appropriate for them to do. So hopefully that will encourage everyone to be there. So, we're getting ready for our kindergarten roundup. It's hard, and pre-K roundup, hard to believe it's already that time. So that will be the 26th and the 28th. Head Start will do theirs on the same day we do the pre-K, which is on the 26th. So, see anyone around this height that doesn't look like they're in school, send them our way. Like we currently, in the pre-K, we have, I believe, 39 already that will be moving forward. So really, we're doing much better than the kindergarten group we have now. So we know that we have bigger numbers coming up. We've also been talking some about the daycare. We know that that is something that we're going to have to discuss. The current children that are in the daycare, there are 3 that will be old enough to move to a 3-year-old program. However, their parents don't really want them to. Just because they're 3 and the maturity level of some of them, they just don't feel like they're ready to move to pre-K. We have 7 on the waiting list. And so even if those 3, we can just force them, we still don't have enough spots for the others. So we've both been kind of talking about some options.
I just have another, what if we do a 3-year-old class?
Just specifically for them.
Well,
Yeah.
you could have a 3-year.
It's not daycare.
Right, you could have a 3-year-old class. It would just be similar to how we did last year. You know, Claire just had a 3-year-old program, that it was just, and with that you can take, but you're also looking at, depending on how many students, you're going to have to hire a certified teacher for that.
I have all the information because if you'll recall, back when we voted to do it, we thought we had to go through the licensing. So I did not throw all that stuff away. So I have it, and we're going to work on it to see, because our teachers really are depending on us. There is no daycare in town. There's not an option. And people that have young ones are having to drive a long way. So
Yes, Brittany Guzman's the one, she is wonderful.
we have a really good program this year. We do. One of the
She's
better.
Right.
she's a keeper for sure. Anyway,
Well,
so,
It's on my desk.
yeah, we both talked about it, but that's something we're continuing to think about, keep an eye on. Over spring break, the maintenance made improvements to our courtyard. They came and put down some weed cloth and put down some mulch, so that looks much better. Our Topaz testing starts Wednesday, so we'll be doing that. Teachers continue to work and kind of play with different STAR groups. We're still struggling in 3rd grade to really get them motivated, and it's just a challenging group to try and get them. We're just still worried they're not making the progress, especially on the writing part. They're progressing better in math than they are in the writing and the reading area. We also have been working on testing schedules, everything from, of course, everyone knows when STAR is, but we're also working on MAP, because as soon as that STAR is finished, we have to hurry and get all that MAP testing done. So it's just a busy time of year, but not a whole lot different since last we met. I said I feel like we were just here with spring break, but anyway. I don't really have a whole lot here. We did finish up our Topaz testing. Ms. Faulkner and Ms. Peterson are preparing for the STAL R2, and then everybody's getting ready for the upcoming STAR test. Ms. Southpaw attended a virtual workshop on March 5th through the Houston Museum of Natural Science, and she's kind of taken our lead for the solar eclipse. And she's got several activities planned for that day for us. So we'll kind of run a little bit of a shortened schedule that day so they can all go to their core classes.
But then they're gonna be doing, academic activities throughout the time. So it actually starts at 12:19 here, be completely dark for a couple of minutes at 1:38, and it doesn't end until 2:59, so it's a whole process, that they'll do. We do have the little lenses, like Ms. Womack was saying, and then there's several things. One of the activities they're gonna do is an eclipse to scale. Well, they'll have to understand the scale of the Earth, Sun, and Moon, and the distance between them to like grasp the concept of how the Moon can cover the Sun. And that will take place outside those activities. They'll be making a UVB bracelet that they'll wear, and it's with a pipe cleaner and the UV beads. And they'll answer questions like what happens to the UV beads as the eclipse happens? How does this compare to any other day? What happens if we put them in direct sunlight versus the shade? If we put them in a bowl of water, we cover them with a sheet of paper, we put sunscreen on them, did it work? So just lots of different questions and experiments and that sort of thing. They're gonna be making pinhole cameras and pinhole projectors, and then I sent them to maintenance, they haven't responded yet, but I'm hoping that they'll make this pinhole pergola, and you take that pegboard that has little holes in it, and it's really, that part's really cheap, but what I need them to do is make a base so that the students can walk underneath it. And there's activities for them to do on that. And then the last thing that they have is a solar eclipse web quest, where they have activities that they do on the web, but it also incorporates like math and reading and like higher level questioning, so those teachers aren't missing out on that time too. So we're excited and we're very thankful that Ms. Southall took over and kind of got that geared up. And I'll share y'all that email.
Amber y'all have start testing the very next day, so
Very next
there's no way to miss that day. It would be way too important.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Alright, so high school, we finished telepass, we are gearing up for a whole lot of testing. TSI, maps testing, we actually had to readjust our maps window because we couldn't get in after the STAR exam, so I restructured it for our teachers. And then we've got our STAR test coming up, our EOC coming up, starting very soon. Like them, we have plans for the eclipse. I've asked our science teachers to make sure that they are doing something in their room, dealing with the eclipse at an age-appropriate level. And then I've also just opened it up to any teacher that wants to just discuss it. It is a once-in-a-lifetime event. I had a conversation with the students today. Our plan is it just happens to hit right about the same time we have lunch. So we're gonna have lunch outside, as it's happening. Then, hey, no, we're not jinxing it, okay? Someone said, what happens if it's cloudy? I was like, well, my school is normal, I guess. And then, and then afterwards, we're going to stay, just our sixth period will stay out there. We've got the glasses as well. I've asked, our ag science department to have a fire pit out there. We'll roast some s'mores and just really let the high school kids kind of relax and enjoy it. The minute they start kind of
Make it a memory.
making getting a little antsy, we'll run them back to class and finish the day. That day we do also have 3 groups that are potentially gonna be leaving that afternoon for extracurricular activities. And so,
What happens to the high school golf team isn't that scheduled on Eclipse Day? So
I don't know if the golf is that day or not.
it says it's on the
We have one out-
calendar,
we have
so
one
that'd
out.
be interesting.
They do district golf next Monday.
We have
Yeah.
one out, baseball,
Only
softball
if
for
they-
sure, I know those 3 are going.
Yeah, only if they advance.
And then,
It'd be
if
interesting to
they
see.
do it, we'll send some glasses with them, and before you tee off, you might wanna know where that ball's going,
Yeah.
so.
We'll get them blown up.
Go ahead and dark ball.
So, we're just, again, I had a conversation with students at lunch today. I said roughly 9 weeks till the end of the year. It's gonna be really busy, just focusing on grades and then making sure we get across that finish line exactly where we're supposed to be, so. And we have submitted the Blue Ribbon application to TEA. I did that before going to spring break, and waiting for them to get, feedback on it, so.
Thanks, yeah, Ms. Nallen, do you have anything?
Well, the, safety grant should be opening up soon, keep looking for it. We're good and ready to start it when they do. And your ESSER was good, your ESSER report was good, so.
Excellent report was good, everything's good, we're just cooking right along, just kind of in between some things, just waiting, but it's good.
Good deal. Mr. Miller, did you have anything additional to add?
I would like to say that for the first time in my career, the band received all ones on stage and all ones in sight reading.
Yeah.
I never had that before. I appreciate it. And it's because of those four and the leadership that they bring. But I had 9 solo players and all 9 made first division on the Saturday prior to that, so the kids are just really.
They've really bought in.
Well, yeah.
It's the uniforms.
It's
Uniforms.
They came in right before the contest. So they're excited and we're gonna hang them in the tent. And we had one pair with a white pair of pants that's gonna be a drum major one. And just from the old whites that we actually had bought the white for the drum major yet. We got all white uniforms. But our tops are interchangeable, they're really neat. And they have different, every Friday for about 5 weeks, we could have something different on. It's the same uniform. It's just built where you can just take something off, put something on you, and they send all those accessories. Keeping up with it, I'm afraid it's gonna be a nightmare. So we'll have to figure out.
I would also like to add, I mean, for those on Facebook, it seems that our stock show kids have just really done well this year.
Agreed.
And I wish I
No, they
had
had
a list
three.
of that, but like very successful, I feel like coming from such a small town and winning so many of those.
There was 3 placed at Austin. 3 made the sale at Houston. No, there was 2 or 3, I'm just thinking of pigs now. I can't tell you all
But very impressive
Yeah,
for them
first-
this year.
I mean, every campus was well represented from Fort Worth to Austin.
I bet it was that new barn.
I had a conversation with Josh.
Speaking of that new barn is full.
Yeah, I
Nobody's
was
moving
with
up
Josh
there.
today.
It's,
It is full.
He's contemplating
Excited now.
taking.
it is absolutely full.
Yes, I'd say we have most of us have all toured through there while it was empty. It is full now, so it might
It
be
is
fun
full.
to go back now that there's animals in
And
there.
it's
Well, it's empty today. It's
empty right now.
empty. It's over. We're done. I mean, whenever everybody gets home, Austin was it, but I know that it was full.
I walk through about once a week, just to kind of, I don't want to say meditate with the pigs a little bit now and then when I need to get out, but no, it's always full.
It is
And
full.
it's really, really clean.
They do a good job.
Yeah.
It is
It
nice.
is very organized and very clean.
I think like he said, they would like to expand more hymns, but it's really full.
Josh, you got some ideas that he's kind of, he and I was talking about.
They've done well this
Go
year.
up, young man, go up.
They've done, good. I know Elam was in that reserve, White Oak UV at Austin. Abigail was maybe reserve champion
She had about on this.
at Houston, which is, you get an H and a trophy at Houston, it's done. So we took a lamb down there and there was 84 in our class. There's no class anywhere that's that big. I mean, they are huge at Houston. And they've worked really hard, all the kids have worked really hard this year.
And all the FFA kids are going this Thursday to compete in Charleston. Didn't know that in the various other competitions. They're a good job out there.
And the Calhouns, they've done really good with their goats and lambs. I think they have done really well at every show they went to, so, I mean, the future's bright for the livestock showing part of it. There's a lot of young kids, I think we had 31 or 2 members in junior FFA, and then maybe 3 seniors.
And didn't we like go into a new category with the welding, or we're looking at that where you can compete at the stock show, just like you were showing an animal, but it's with your project that you weld?
He's got one, he's got a
Working on it.
trailer that's gonna go to, I think it's Belen, Brenham kind of
Working on
area.
that ag mechanic
Yeah.
trailer for
And the challenge with that is those boys are very active in other things, and so finding the
Right.
time
Right,
to get it done is the big thing.
right. And that reminds me of the best team. We have the
One.
two
Oh, just
We
one.
had one team that made it 2 students.
students, yeah,
Yes.
that are, and that's the family members,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Without,
We had one that missed it by 4 places.
Okay,
So
I'd hate to be on
Well,
that
first
boat.
year, that's great.
Huh?
I'd hate to be on that boat. Don't you know they fight?
I like to pick at them because it wasn't until this time that this last one, Evan caught the fish.
Don't you know they fight?
Shane's always caught the bigger fish, and so I always kind of give him a rub it.
I can imagine Ansel Carson being on the boat trying to. Somebody's getting wet.
All right, let's move on to 7.2, the facilities projects update.
I don't have any big things to tell you, except that the washer for the workout facility is going to be installed this week, I think. We have begged and begged, the washer has been out and it's been, a real task, so we are getting a new washer over there. They're working on the stands at the stadium, and it really will benefit, the band kids, because, I don't know if you've ever noticed, I really hadn't until this year, until Chuck brought it to my attention, but it really wasn't very safe, and it, kids could have toppled off, and so they're working to make them more safe on that end where
They
the,
had to cross in front of the crowd to come down the stairways and with the bigger instruments, and I've got smaller kids or out of shape kids, a lot of them, and they're not able to step completely over into the next one. And so I've asked for halfway steps like they're on.
And have you noticed the bleachers standing in water on the home side, like when it rains? Would that not rust? Rust? Is there not a way to drain that?
I don't know how to drain it. They've been there a long
Yeah, I
time.
It does stand water up underneath them.
It does,
for sure,
it
yeah.
does, and
Yeah.
breeds mosquitoes and all kinds
Yeah,
of
when
things.
I think when we did, the lighting of the D this last year, there was, water right to the track. The cheerleaders are like, can't step off the track in front of the bleachers because of this giant thin of water. So
Actually, water
we're
runs
thankful for
across
it,
it
but-
when it rains
Yeah.
from way back
Yeah.
behind us.
Yeah.
We've looked at it, it's just,
They put tile down or something like that.
Under the bleachers.
If you were to
Well,
put a
put a tile.
solid surface though, within the water.
Well, when they
pushed
built that
areas-
retaining wall up there, they messed up the water way.
Yeah.
No, yes.
yeah. So the water runs, that's the
Yeah.
route the water takes. There were actually, one day, several years ago, there was actually fish on the track. There really were, I went over and saw them, there were little tiny fish on the track.
So if you're interested, I'm doing a drainage project with Texas A&M for downtown,
Mhm.
and, we can probably, I don't know, that was already way into it, but they do this every year to get their engineering students practical experience. But the cool thing about it is that you get to listen to their projects, and their professors grade them on those projects as you're listening to them. So you get the benefit of the kids working on it, but you also get the benefit of the professors who know what they're supposed to be doing. You can hear that. And they'll produce an actual plan to fix whatever your drainage issue would be. So and it will be free.
Yeah, free
But it's
sounds good.
raining.
So if it's still interested in that, maybe next year she's gonna hit me.
That's good, I'll visit with you about it, John, and we'll get the contact information.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All our playing fields will look so nice. I know if you've gone to a softball or baseball game, they just look so nice. And of course, the stadium looked nice all year, but, we've contracted to have our gym floors refinished this summer, but we do that every other year. And, our activity bus came in Thursday, our new activity bus, so we now have 2 activity buses. And that is a big relief so that we can transport kids, small groups of kids, more efficiently and, inexpensively, so.
Has anybody seen the lights at the softball field yet?
Yeah.
Every game I've been to, it's
It's
been daylight. I haven't seen
I have
it.
seen it,
Yeah,
yes,
they look good.
and they do, and
Yeah, they
it's
were-
a soft light, it really does look good.
The games we've made, there were 4 o'clock games
Yeah.
maybe. And now that it don't get dark till.
No, we may not
this is
need
great.
light.
Oh, that's fine with me. I'm
There's
ready
2
for it.
out there Friday, coming up Friday.
I'm ready, well, we'll see. We're tired of going right now. But I've been up there and I haven't got to see the lights on. Everybody said they looked good.
Yeah, they do look good.
I was just gonna make a note now, I forgot what I was gonna put. I'm still interested in that wrap.
Okay, we're working on that.
Yeah, good, okay. Let's move to, 7.3, the safety audit update, please.
Mr. Kincaid came and he was actually pulling on the high school doors thinking it was the middle school. The
Again,
week before, yeah, he parks in our front parking lot, and that's the address, his phone, he's yanking on the doors, and he realized something high school. So he came on in, and we walked him over to the middle school, and again, absolutely perfect, everything was great, he checked all the doors, found nothing, so we had a really good audit for, just showing up and doing an audit, so, Mr. Chaplin and I continue to check every week, we pull the doors to make sure everything is good.
not just at the high school, but at,
Yeah, we check,
all
right,
places.
elementary, middle school, and high school, we check all the gates and anything that's exterior. We walk around and we pull on them all to make sure, and looking for things that are propped and stuff, this is the time of year when they're propping and stealing from the dumpsters and stuff. I'd like to invite everybody to the district school safety team meeting, it is scheduled Wednesday, April 10th at 4 o'clock in the high school library. I sent out emails for everybody that was on there last time, except for Heath, I was gonna send you a text because I don't have your email, and Ms. Morris, I don't have your email as well, I couldn't
I
find.
think it
this
goes,
week.
yeah, it's going into my spam right now,
Okay.
but maybe I'll email you.
Okay, that'd be good,
And
and then I'll put it with that group email.
Great.
And then what we're going to cover is, basic emergency operations plans, the cybersecurity annex, I've been working my way through that, and there's some things I just wanna ask the community and ask everybody, because I don't know, some of them are like, who's our district representative that would be our cybersecurity person? And a lot of it's gonna be, I need to sit down with Mike, and he and I can get most of it done before that meeting, so we can just kind of go over it. But that'll be the bulk of our meeting, it shouldn't take too long.
Thank you very much. On to board training opportunities.
5:30?
Is that
4
You said it, I didn't.
board training opportunities, I sent you an email, this year for remember we went to the training in Abilene last year in May? This year we have an opportunity to go to Dublin on, March the 25th. 25th. If you'd like to go to that, it's really closer than Abilene, it'll be the exact same training we got in Abilene. And, so I already have Carrie and Dr. Boswell and Carol have told me they wanna go. It's,
That's right.
They
I do
serve
wanna go.
hard A barbecue, just so you know.
Diane, I do wanna go, I called up here to tell.
okay.
What's for lunch?
What time did it start?
Tell somebody,
I don't
and choose
remember what
out.
time it
Let me
starts.
see.
It's
Was
a-
it 6?
Yeah, it's like the one we went to in Abilene.
Yeah, it was a repeat pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I got 9 AM, but I know that's not right.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that it's at 6, and
I
then there's a
think
break
so.
for the food, and then,
I'll send you
you know,
that.
half and half.
Well, I mean,
But anyway, if you'll let me know, I'll get you registered.
I do wanna go.
Okay, I've got your name down.
No, I called up here to talk to Rachel, and she was gone lunch at the time, and I never did.
It'll be a lot easier than trying to
yeah.
go to Abilene later, but if you don't have that date
It's
available,
6 o'clock.
then just go to
Yeah.
Abilene. Should be
I'm
going
gonna
to.
try to be there.
I'll go ahead and register.
I may just have to.
I can go.
Okay.
Sorry, softball.
Okay.
So then Derek would be the only one to ask at this point, and I know he'd rather go,
To Dublin and Italy.
thank you.
I'll just go ahead and register.
These are the same pins from last meeting.
I think that's
Still have one
it's
around.
still done right.
Okay, other opportunities that,
That's next Monday, isn't it?
yeah, it's rolling right around very quickly. Okay, so action items, 8.1 is the consideration and approval of donations and gifts.
And we do not have it
Okay.
this month.
I knew it wasn't in the email, but I wasn't sure why. Consideration and approval of the certification and of the unopposed candidates for May 4th, 2024.
Okay, this is the paperwork that must be, approved by a board, and then it'll have to be posted at each voting location on the day of the election, so, because we didn't have anyone sign up at these two, you are automatically, congratulations, going to be sworn in May.
I'm really sorry. I mean, congratulations.
But I do need a motion.
So maybe somebody other than Heath could make that motion.
Make a motion.
Thank you. Looking for a second?
Second.
Okay, and then all those in favor? So we had our 4 and we had 1 abstain.
Okay.
All right, let's move to 8.3. Consideration and approval of the resolution to extend our depository contract with F&M Bank.
This is just something we can do. We did a big one a couple of years ago, and for 3 years after that, you can just, renew it. The letter and everything closed. I'll need you to sign that.
Any discussion on that one? Okay, looking for a motion on that.
I'll make a motion that we extend the depository contract.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you, Heath. All those in favor? Okay, that's everyone. Am I moving too fast? Should I slow down? 8.4, consideration and approval of the quarterly investment reports.
There are 2 in here because, Mr. Thompson, did not send us one at the end of November. When I called him, he said, oops, I forgot to send November's, but, if I draw your attention to the main thing I'm gleaning from this, is we're doing well. You know, we use mainly Lone Star to invest our money. So if you look at the February 29th one, we have collected $288,786.21 in interest year-to-date, compared with $184,000 last year. So this is a really good thing, especially since our enrollment is down, that we are actually making money on the money that we have in fund balance. This is a very good thing. Mr. Thompson is coming tomorrow to help us with some reports that we have to do for food service. And while he's here, we'll set up the meetings for when the administrators get together with him and talk about, this is what we call our wish meeting. And then he'll have a real meeting later on before we bring the needs and the rough budget to you all. But we have a wish meeting, what things that they'd like to have. And we look at where we are with their individual budgets to see if they are spending in line with what they projected. So it's a good meeting and kind of fun because you do get to dream a little bit.
So before we vote on this one, let's take a moment and acknowledge John's incredible reporting on the front page of the newspaper.
Yes.
Very, I thought, great photo. Dr. Marble was very kind and invited me to come down to F&M Bank the other day and watch her sign off on the paperwork that pays off, was it 5.1 million? Was the approximate dollar amount for the bond, so that is a really exciting moment, so.
It's really a wonderful thing that this community did. I was not here when that bond issue passed, but with the foresight that the community had to vote for the bond, and for the existing board then to schedule it to be paid off as quickly as it was, because this was a 2009 bond and we've already paid it off. The 2010 bond will be paid off in 3 years, and it's for $888,000. That is a lot of money, but compared to 5.1 million, it is not a lot of money. So I think we're just blessed that we have a community that supports us and that they were wise enough to do that and look at that beautiful high school that we have that is all but paid for. And all of our facilities are in good shape. So we are very, very blessed.
We actually had compliments. We had the 1A, 1Act play, as the superintendents were commenting on how nice our facility was.
Yeah, it was nice. So we let someone
We
host in our facility.
really
That's nice. Okay, that's good. Well, it's very exciting, and Allie did not get in the photo, but she was there, and she's worked very hard, as well as, multiple people here in this office gathering all that up and making sure it was all done properly.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because Allie does do a great job for us, and she is learning more and more and more every day. Mr. Thompson is forcing her to to learn some things that he knows that eventually she'll be taking over for us, and we're blessed to have her, because believe it, she spends that money just like it was her very own. She is so conscious of making good deals and paying things on time, and we're very blessed. We have a great, central office.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm looking for a motion on this one to approve the quarterly investment reports as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the quarterly investment reports.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Okay, Cody, thank you. All those in favor? All right. Moving on to personnel. Is there anything other than the 9.1 item on here? There's no closed session items. I have Dr. Marible's formative evaluation right here that she has presented. I think everybody's got a copy of it, so we have that. There's nothing to approve there. So, anything else before we wrap it up? Would someone like to make the motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Everybody ate their cookie before they go.
7:48, thank you. 7:48. I'm looking at her trying to decide what that means.
Well, I can't say y'all, because Tyron Smith has called me constantly throughout the meeting.
Oh, no.
Very good again.